Never do this with a woman. 99% of men get it wrong. Have you ever been at a party or bar and noticed a girl staring at you, but then thought, oh, it must be a coincidence? Yeah, I've been there too. The truth is, a lot of people miss these opportunities because they don't know how to read the signs. Whether it's fear of coming off as arrogant or just insecurity, the result is the same. The chance slips by, and you're left standing there like nothing happened. Here's the thing. Women are masters at sending subtle signals of interest. It might be a slight smile, a random joke, or that accidental touch on your arm. These are like green lights. If you miss them, she's going to think you're not interested, and no one's going to keep trying if they feel like they're talking to a wall, right? I remember back in college, there was this girl who was stunning. She used to look at me during class, but I, being the Sherlock Holmes that I was, thought she must be looking at the board behind me. Later, I found out she was interested, but she thought I wasn't into her. Long story short, I missed the chance, and my buddy made fun of me for weeks. So, what should you do? If you notice one of these signs, hold her gaze, give her a confident smile, or crack a light joke when she starts a conversation. You don't need to act like a movie star. Just show that you're in the game. 2. Trying too hard to impress. This is a classic mistake. You're on a date and decide it's time for a show. You talk about your car, your amazing job, all the trips you've taken, and think you're killing it. Spoiler alert, you're not. In fact, you're coming off like the top salesman at the inflated ego store. What should have been a connection turns into a monologue, and no one likes that. Here's the problem. Bragging screams insecurity. It's like you're saying, please, think I'm amazing. But here's the secret. Real confidence doesn't need a commercial. Are your accomplishments cool? Of course. But they're way more impactful when they come up naturally. If she asks, great, share them. Just don't turn the conversation into a walking resume. Let me tell you something. When I was 25, I went out with this independent, super successful woman. I was so nervous that I spent the entire dinner hyping myself up as the amazing guy. I talked so much about my projects that by the end of the night, she was more bored than impressed. I learned the hard way that connection is way more about listening than talking. Want to really impress her? Be genuine. Listen to what she has to say, ask questions, and show real interest. Who you are will shine through naturally, and that's worth more than 1,000 speeches. 3. Complaining or being negative. Have you noticed how no one likes being around king of the whiners? The guy who always has something to complain about. Traffic, the boss, even the waiter, taking 30 seconds too long. Now imagine being that guy on a date. What should have been light and fun turns into a rant session. Guess what she's going to want to do? Run. Negativity is like that annoying friend who shows up uninvited. Constant complaining kills the vibe. But if you can handle things with humor, even the little struggles of everyday life can turn into lighthearted conversations. That shows you know how to roll with the punches and keep things fun, even in tough times. That's the kind of energy people are drawn to. One time, I went out with an amazing girl. Everything was going great until I started venting about how crazy work had been that week. It was like throwing a bucket of cold water on the mood. I only realized the damage later. The lesson? People don't want to hear a pity party. They want to feel good around you. That's when I learned to turn even my bad days into funny stories. Next time you feel like complaining, take a deep breath and reframe it. Instead of work was a nightmare today, try a work was crazy, but it gave me some great stories. It's a small change that makes a big difference. For being too available. You know that saying, what's easy isn't exciting. It's true, especially when it comes to attraction. If you're always available, replying to messages instantly, canceling plans for any invitation, guess what she'll think? That you don't have a life of your own. And not to be harsh, but that's not attractive. The secret is mystery and balance. Women are drawn to guys who have priorities, goals, and hobbies. If your schedule revolves entirely around her, you're sending the message that you don't have anything interesting going on besides the relationship. That doesn't mean ignoring her or pretending you don't care, but it does mean showing that you value your time and know how to balance things. I remember when I was about 20 and started dating this amazing girl. I was so excited that I rearranged my entire life to fit hers. At first, she seemed to like it. But over time, her interest started to fade. Why? Because I stopped being the interesting guy she met and turned into the always available guy. It was a tough lesson to learn. So here's the tip: have a full life. Enjoy your projects, your friends, and your routine. Appreciate the time you spend together, but don't forget to value yourself too. That balance earns respect and makes her want more of what you both share. 5. Underestimating nonverbal communication. Did you know your body might be saying everything you don't want it to? It's true. The way you move, look, or even the tone you use when speaking says more about you than your words. And if you don't pay attention to it, you might come across as insecure, disinterested, or even fake, despite having the best intentions. Women are experts at picking up on these signals. Avoiding eye contact shows discomfort. Crossed arms scream, "I don't want anyone near me," and sloppy posture is like a billboard saying, "I don't care." On the other hand, a genuine smile, confident posture, and open gestures communicate that you're secure and approachable. Basically, your body shouts, "I'm here, and I'm good." Let me tell you something. A friend once told me she lost interest in a guy from work because he never looked her in the eye. That clicked for me. I started paying attention to my own body language, making direct eye contact, standing tall, using more natural gestures, and man, the difference was huge. You start sending the right message before you even say a word. Want a boost in your presence? Keep your back straight but not stiff like a board. Hold her gaze without staring like a robot, and use facial expressions to match the conversation. A slight smile that says, "I'm enjoying this," works wonders. It's simple, but it's powerful. 6. Making promises you can't keep. Making promises you can't deliver on is like shooting yourself in the foot when trying to impress someone. It could be something small, like saying, "I'll call you tomorrow," or something bigger, like planning a trip together. If you break a promise, the impact is immediate. Trust goes out the window. And without trust, my friend, no connection can survive. Women value consistency more than sweet words. If you say you'll do something, she expects you to follow through. When you deliver, it shows you're reliable and respectful. But if you become the empty promises guy, she'll start wondering, is he serious about anything? Spoiler, that's not the impression you want to leave. Once, I promised to help a girl with a personal project, but my schedule got so hectic that I didn't show up. She was polite about it, but the message was clear: I can't rely on you. It was a hard lesson, but a necessary one. Since then, I only promise what I know I can deliver. Better to be upfront than to give false hope. The tip is simple: be honest from the start. Don't say yes just to please her or seem more interesting. Women respect men who have the courage to be realistic and straightforward, even if it means admitting something isn't possible. When your actions align with your words, you become authentic. 7. Being clingy or controlling. There's a big difference between showing you care and becoming her shadow. Constantly asking where she is, who she's with, or trying to control her choices might feel like care to you, but in reality, it's intrusive. Worse, it screams insecurity. And guess what? No one wants to date someone who acts like an emotional GPS. This kind of behavior usually stems from a silly fear of losing her interest. The irony? That fear is exactly what makes her lose interest. Women want to feel free to be themselves. When you try to control her, you're essentially saying you don't trust her or yourself. Freedom and trust are the foundation of any healthy connection. When I was 24, I dated an amazing girl. But whenever she went out with her friends, I'd text her like a detective. "Where are you? Who are you with?" It didn't take long for her to tell me she felt suffocated. And guess what? The relationship ended. It was a wake-up call, but it taught me the value of trust. So what's the secret? Simple. Trust her. Live your life and support hers. Instead of trying to control, show that you're confident enough to give her space. This not only strengthens your bond, but also makes you far more attractive. 8. Undervaluing her small achievements. Sometimes women share little victories, like resolving an issue at work or learning how to cook a new dish. And you know what some guys do? They brush it off. They give a quick, "oh, cool," and move on. It might seem minor, but to them, it says, I don't really care about you, and that my friend costs you major points in emotional connection. These small moments matter because they show what's meaningful to her. When you acknowledge and celebrate them, it shows you're genuinely paying attention. It's a simple way to demonstrate that you value not just the incredible person she already is, but also her effort to grow and improve. I've made this mistake myself. A friend once excitedly told me she'd learned how to make sushi on her own. Distracted, I gave her the classic automatic cool while looking at my phone. Her excitement faded instantly. That's when I realized how much even a small gesture can mean. Since then, I've made an effort to be fully present. Want to stand out? Show interest. It can be as simple as a smile saying, "Wow, that's amazing. How did you do that?" or even suggesting you celebrate together. These small gestures create deep emotional connections. And the best part, when you value her achievements, she'll want to celebrate yours too. For more tips on building stronger relationships, subscribe to the channel and don't miss the video playing on the screen now.